Time for one of my favorite conversations of the month. The lady next to me is Tava Sosky. She's the director of the Oklahoma Film and Music Office. How are you?
I'm great, David. How are you?
Doing quite well. We're here in the Oklahoman's
good.
video studio where we catch up with this lady in the office once a month to talk about all the film and music opportunities that your office is on top of, engaged in, or whatever. We missed January's episode due to some scheduling on my part. So let's conclude 2016 before we jump into all the things that you have going.
Okay.
It is Oscar season after all, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
But
right.
towards the end of last season, last year, some movies were in progress. We'll get to I Can Only Imagine with Dennis Quaid, which was, a big buzz and positive thing here in downtown Oklahoma City, among other places. But 2016, how did it go?
Yeah. We provided you guys with this cool graphic that we put out in January, which is Oklahoma by the numbers. I mean, we had 16 films alone in 2016, which was huge. Over 4,000 hires. Just people working on films, not to mention all the businesses and hotels and, gift shops and all these other places that people were patronizing while they were here. But
And we're looking at the graphic there. These are increases.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can see just
some growth
each year. I mean, we've doubled the amount of films, nearly doubled, and then the hires, I mean, they're always increasing. And then even if you look at our production guide and our music guide and our locations guide where we house all of our crew and resources, those numbers are going up. So we're growing on all aspects, which is the way it should work.
It's certainly one of the goals and missions of your office, but how did you attract 16 films to the state? It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's been a lot of work, Dave.
Yeah, probably have some new gray hairs. And no, it's a team effort. I mean, we couldn't do it without the support. Our division's under tourism, so we have a lot of support from our leadership with tourism and then commerce as well. But I mean, we phone call, we network locally, and we were making sure people in the state are aware of the resources because we've got so much talent here. Why not allow the filmmakers here to raise up some of their own projects? And then recruit. I mean, we're constantly recruiting, whether we're at a music conference in Nashville or Sundance, or Los Angeles. I mean, wherever we go, we're just constantly trying to point people this way and make sure that they know about all that we have to offer.
A couple of big movies from the end of last year. I'll let you set that up. Among those was I Can Only Imagine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and was it November? We had one of the producers here, Joshua Walsh, with us, and they started filming in November. They wrapped up right before Christmas.
I remember him as being so enthusiastic
about
that project.
He was so enthusiastic, yeah. And but I think that's what Oklahoma needed, and I think that we welcomed that. We connected him with a lot of great people here in the community, and everybody just came together. I mean, the mayor to different leaders in churches and the chamber, and I mean, just so many people came together to support that film. And
we're looking at some photos. Sarah Phipps, I believe, shot at the Civic Center, which was one of the locations.
That's right. Yeah, we got some great interviews with some of the cast. The producers did something really special, which I can share with you, but they got a quote from most of all the key cast and the producers and directors about their experience in Oklahoma. And Cloris Leachman, I mean, she talked about the avocado margaritas or something and the skydiving indoors. But
I can tell you the avocado margaritas over at Barrios in Midtown are fantastic,
well,
so she's not lying about that.
So, but yeah, I mean, that means people are out and they're spending money and they're skydiving in Oklahoma. Like, how cool is that? But and she played some beautiful music there when we visited the set, just entertaining the cast and the crew, and we had some legislative friends there that got a taste of what it's like behind the scenes, and just hearing how the rebate program attracted them to Oklahoma, how the people in Oklahoma just welcomed their arms, and they loved the sunsets and just everything. I mean, they had an amazing experience and they want to come back. So that was really a positive experience. We also had Wildlife wrap up. Among several other films, I can't name them all, but go to our website and check it out. And we always archive our projects there and keep a current list of what's coming as well. But Wildlife was starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Carey Mulligan. They nestled. I don't think we could talk about it in November, could we? But
nope. In fact, you were saying, "Hey, Dave, keep it down."
Yeah, they kind of tucked away in Enid, Oklahoma, and they loved it. And the community there just wrapped, themselves around them and supported them, and they got what they needed. I hear the footage looks great.
Good.
The producing company had a wildly successful experience at Sundance. They had 3 other films in the festival this year, so. I think it's going to be a good, I'm hoping for big things with that film.
I remember the social media photos of Jake Gyllenhaal at the Walmart in Enid, so I'm sure that community was like, hey, that's Jake over there in aisle 6.
Yeah, and people get starstruck, and that's all they want to talk about, and then on the flip side, people are like, oh, these people coming in and taking our resources. They're not taking our resources, they're giving so much. They're giving so much. And for our local crew and talent to be able to work alongside some of these professionals and icons in the industry, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, she mentioned their website, and one of the cool things that the Oklahoma Film and Music Office does is an artist spotlight, and I believe February's is Mr. Nathan Gardaki.
Right. Yeah, we have been profiling in our monthly newsletter that people should subscribe to, because it just gives you a great overview of each month. We wrap up what just happened, we look ahead, we showcase everything going on. But we have been profiling different artists, musicians and filmmakers and local businesses throughout the course of the life of our newsletter. However, in January, just last month, we did roll out we're calling it the Spotlight Series. And so in February, we featured Nathan Gardaki. He's a filmmaker, and then, of course, he has his own support service company as well. And I hope you enjoy that video. It's pretty cool. And so, stay tuned, our social media platforms, and then our newsletter will roll out 1 new video per month. So we'll just keep it coming at you.
That's awesome. That's a great way to meet various artists and the creative types around our community.
Exactly.
You mentioned Sundance Film Festival earlier. You were there, and it's important for networking, for meeting people, for exposure. I'm putting words in your mouth. I'll let you talk about how did Sundance go, and why is it important for you to be there?
Well, was it 3 years ago, 2014? I think that was our first year as an office to be there, because Rudderless, which was William H. Macy's directorial debut, our 2 wonderful writers and talent producers, Casey Twinter and Jeff Robinson, they had Rudderless at Sundance. It was the closing night film, and that kind of put Oklahoma on the map in that, at that prestigious film festival. And so the years following, why would we not go? We needed to keep that momentum and keep people engaged with what we have here. And then that same year, of course, as you know, we renewed the rebate program for 10 years. And so having that momentum, engaging with people year after year at that festival and then other festivals as well, that's really important. So we host a filmmakers reception. So we bring people in. We had over 200 people. So it's an intimate setting where you're just networking and you're just telling people what resources we have. I brought my little hat here because I wore it the whole time I was there. And Sundance is big, but I would have people stop me on the streets and say, "Hey, Oklahoma!"
Cool.
So I just wanted to bring that, and I was going to wear it, but I didn't know if it would hide my face. But
that's a pretty good logo on the front right there.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We
That's
play,
well done.
it's now playing. Film and music in Oklahoma, and so we made a presence. We had a great presence.
You
at
met
Sundance.
Barack Goodman, director of Oklahoma
Right.
City, which I believe played on PBS last night.
Yeah, it did. It just aired last night. Yeah, it was great to meet him and all the producers. They used some of our crew when they came here. They were only here for a few days. Obviously, it was a documentary, and so they utilized more stock footage than anything else. But they did get some interviews from some of the locals and such. So he is a talented filmmaker, and he was very impressed by Oklahoma, and now that he knows about the rebate program, he'll probably be bringing more projects home.
Well, I mentioned it is Oscar season. That is coming up shortly here in a couple weeks, and 3 Oklahoma connections at least among those nominated.
Yeah, so Trent and Thad Luckenbill, they're also Enid natives, and Enid's getting a lot of exposure today. But I also want to add, because I forgot, with Sundance. At Sundance, we had several Studio Oklahoma partners.
Right.
We've talked about Studio Oklahoma before, and among those partners were Visit Enid, Visit Bartlesville, Guthrie, the Chamber, and the CVB, and the Tulsa Film and Music Office there. As well as Dead Center, and then our 2 presenting sponsors, Dunlap Cotting and the Paramount on Film Row. But we couldn't have gone to Sundance without those partners, and that's why we come together and we go together. And so Sundance, or Enid, was represented at Sundance, and they've got 2 amazing, talented filmmakers who we've been talking to, our office has been talking to for quite some time. They are very excited about the possibilities of bringing some projects home. They've got so many going on in production right now that they're trying to wrap those up. But we're going to reconnect in April with them while we're out in LA, and we're hoping that they'll come and speak to some of our Oklahoma filmmakers that are out in LA. But that's what we're hoping for. But they thank everyone for the warm welcome. I mean, everybody's been just gracious. And then the writer as well, Eric. On Arrival, I do not know him, but I'd love to meet him, so we've got to connect with him as well. But it's going to be pretty cool that Oklahoma will be represented at the Oscars this year. We're proud.
Eric Heiser, and I may be pronouncing that wrong, so my apologies, Eric, if that is incorrect. Nominated for an Oscar for Arrival, as she mentioned. Trent and Thad Luckenbill, 14 nominations. Of course, they are with La La Land. I haven't seen either one of those movies, but I hear they're both really good.
Well, they're all playing in the area.
So it's a chance to catch them.
So catch them. We've got a couple more weeks to go. Yeah.
All right, very good. All the stuff that Tava has mentioned during this segment can be found, more information can be found, including that newsletter to sign up for on their website at okfilmmusic.org, which I see right in front of me. part of the swag.
That's
Here we
right.
go.
It's promo.
That's well done.
Not swag. Okay.
Tava, anything else you want to touch on?
Well, I just wanted to add that, because we probably won't see you until the second week in March, but on March 1st, our office is hosting our 2nd annual film-focused networking and mentoring event. So it's March 1st. In the evening, it'll be at the Paramount on Film Row. They're our presenting sponsor. And we've got a director and producer, and then a casting director and a producer that people won't want to miss. They'll want to come, and basically it's a networking opportunity, and then they will speak and engage with conversation. We'll have a great Q&A. And then there's some cool giveaways there, which includes a mentoring workshop breakfast with the casting director the following morning. So come on down to Film Row on March 2nd. And then next time we talk, I'll update you on Folk Alliance, because that's actually next week in Kansas City. There's over 40 artists. We've been talking a lot about film, but music's got it going on too.
Absolutely.
Over 40 artists that will be on different stages at Folk Alliance. So we're excited to be there to support the Oklahoma Room and have a presence there. So, and then we just have more and more films rolling out. There's 2 filming right now. So just high hopes for the next month. Yeah.
Sounds good. Lots to look forward to in 2017. As always, Tava, I appreciate the conversation. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
She's Tava Sofsky, Director of the Oklahoma Film and Music Office.